For generations of American children, PBS Kids wasn't just a TV channel. It was a trusted friend, a patient teacher, and a warm, welcoming neighbor. It was the sound of cheerful theme songs echoing through the living room, the sight of colorful characters who felt like family, and the comfort of knowing that every show came from a place of care and purpose. Today, as PBS Kids prepares to possibly shut down its 24/7 broadcast channel, we're not just saying goodbye to a network, we're witnessing the end of an era. Founded on the belief that every child deserves access to high-quality educational content, PBS Kids has for decades delivered some of the most respected, effective, and beloved children's programming in television history. And it didn't require expensive subscriptions or endless merchandise tie-ins. All it needed was a pair of rabbit ears or a basic cable package, and a mission to educate. Let's begin by honoring the shows that made PBS Kids what it was. Sesame Street stands at the top. An institution since 1969, it revolutionized children's TV by blending education with entertainment, using lovable Muppets, music, animation, and real-world diversity. Big Bird, Elmo, Grover, Abby Cadabby, and Oscar the Grouch taught kids how to count, spell, and treat each other with kindness, all while confronting real-life issues, from racism to grief to homelessness. Then there was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the show that felt more like a warm hug than a TV program. Fred Rogers spoke to children with respect and honesty, encouraging them to understand their emotions, explore their imaginations, and embrace their uniqueness. His legacy is kept alive through Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, a modern animated series that uses gentle songs and stories to help preschoolers deal with everyday struggles like disappointment, jealousy, and fear. Arthur gave slightly older kids something special, a chance to see their own experiences reflected in a grounded slice-of-life setting. The show tackled everything from sibling rivalry to asthma to same-sex marriage, and always with a tone of empathy and understanding. Its 25-year run ended in 2022, but its impact continues through streaming and reruns. Clifford the Big Red Dog brought joy to young viewers with stories of friendship and acceptance through the adventures of a giant red dog and his human, Emily Elizabeth. Meanwhile, Curious George introduced preschoolers to the wonders of discovery and basic science through the antics of an endlessly inquisitive monkey. Whether it was learning how a lever worked or why recycling matters, George made it fun. PBS Kids was also the home of Cyberchase, which used math and logic to solve problems in a digital universe threatened by the villainous hacker. With its colorful visuals and high-stakes scenarios, it helped kids realize that math wasn't just about tests. It could be a tool for adventure. Science and animals got their time in the spotlight too. Zoboomafoo, featuring the Kratts brothers and their puppet lemur friend, explored wildlife through songs, jokes, and hands-on exploration. The Kratts later returned in animated form with Wild Kratts, combining superhero energy with zoological knowledge as they gained animal powers to protect ecosystems around the world. Few shows made biology more exciting than that. Let's not forget Fetch, with Ruff Ruffman, the part game show, part science experiment hosted by a wisecracking animated dog, or The Ruff Ruffman Show, a digital age follow-up that introduced DIY learning activities. There was also Sci Girls, a brilliant series that followed real middle school girls doing science and tech projects, aimed directly at closing the gender gap in STEM fields. Reading and language were always a central focus. Reading Rainbow, hosted by LeVar Burton, inspired countless kids to fall in love with books by spotlighting diverse stories and showing how reading connects to everyday life. Between the Lions turned phonics into fun with puppets, stories, and games. Word Girl took a superhero approach to vocabulary building, using humor and action to grow kids' word power. Diversity and inclusion were deeply embedded in PBS Kids programming. Maya and Miguel focused on Latino culture and bilingual education, emphasizing family, friendship, and community. Dragon Tales offered a magical realm where two siblings learned about cooperation, courage, and emotional regulation through the dragons they befriended. Postcards from Buster, a Arthur spinoff, took viewers to different parts of North America, meeting real kids from diverse cultural, religious, and economic backgrounds. Even Barney and Friends, which gets a lot of flack in hindsight, was one of the earliest shows to introduce preschoolers to positive values like sharing, patience, and teamwork through music and gentle stories. Love it or hate it, Barney taught many of us how to say please and a thank you. And now, all of that, the variety, the values, the accessibility, is at risk. The end of the PBS Kids channel isn't just due to changing media habits or the rise of streaming. On May 1st, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order instructing the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, CPB, to eliminate federal funding to NPR and PBS. Citing alleged political bias in their news reporting, the executive order cuts financial lifelines for hundreds of local PBS affiliates, many of which operate on shoestring budgets already. These cuts will hit rural and underserved communities the hardest, where free access to PBS Kids was often the only source of safe educational programming. Meanwhile, PBS Kids is pivoting to digital. The PBS Kids video app, streaming partnerships with Amazon Prime, and a robust website will continue to offer many of the beloved shows. But this shift leaves behind children in households without consistent internet or access to streaming services. Ironically, the very families PBS was designed to serve. And what will replace PBS Kids? Likely nothing with its same heart and mission. Commercial networks and algorithm-driven platforms are unlikely to match the quality, intention, and inclusivity of PBS Kids programming. Sure, there are good shows out there, but few exist outside a subscription paywall. And even fewer prioritize real educational research, social development, and diversity the way PBS Kids always did. So what does the future look like? Hopefully, new nonprofits and independent creators rise to fill the void. Perhaps foundations and donors will step up to ensure public media survives in a new form. But it won't be easy, and it won't be the same. PBS Kids helped raise us. It taught us how to think critically, how to feel deeply, and how to treat others with respect. It gave us stories we carried into adulthood and lessons we passed down to our own children. Its loss is more than just the end of a TV channel. It's a cultural wound. And that wraps up our possible farewell to PBS Kids, a true icon of children's television. Whether you grew up with Mr. Rogers' cardigans, Elmo's laugh, Arthur's glasses, or Maya's big heart, you know what PBS Kids gave us. It gave us more than just entertainment. It gave us empathy. It gave us curiosity. It gave us values. A huge shout out and heartfelt thank you to our amazing Throwback Tier members, Peace by Chaos, Thecula, iCritic, Mary Jarrell, Jeremy Bowen, Mr. Blanks, and Sonic and Leighton Fan. Your support means the world, and you're helping keep the nostalgia alive in a big way. I also want to thank all the other awesome members who support the channel. Whether you're new or you've been rocking with us from the beginning, I appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to help the channel grow even more, don't forget to check out the merch shop. It's another great way to show support and rep that nostalgic love wherever you go. Let's keep this conversation alive and celebrate what PBS Kids stood for. Because even though the channel may be going away, the lessons we learned from it, those stay with us forever. Let's run it back and keep the legacy alive.